Okay, so question number 8 is what is the Lewis structure for the ammonia molecule, which is NH3? Be sure to include all resonance structures that satisfy the octet rule. So when writing out the Lewis structures, we first need to calculate the total number of valence electrons for this molecule. So in the case of nitrogen, nitrogen has 5 valence electrons, and hydrogen contains 1. And since there are 3 hydrogen atoms, we would multiply this value by 3. And if we were to add them up, we would find a total number of 8 valence electrons. So now let's start off by writing out the skeletal structure of NH3. So nitrogen would be our central atom, not because it's more, in this case, it is actually more electronegative than the hydrogen, but the fact that it's able to form multiple bonds makes it more likely for the nitrogen to be the central atom compared to our hydrogen. So hydrogen can only form 1 bond. So now that we know nitrogen's our central atom, we can draw its 3 bonds to hydrogen. And if we recall that each bond contains 2 bonding electrons, and we have 3 bonds, we only have 6 electrons drawn so far, so we need to put the remaining 2 electrons on our nitrogen. Okay, so this gives us the final structure, or the final Lewis structure of NH3. So we can also find out the type of molecular shape it has by looking at the number of charge clouds. So by charge clouds, I mean the lone pairs and the bonded atoms. So we have 1 lone pair and 3 bonded atoms. So if we use a Vesper table, we can find out the type of shape it has and electron geometry. So when you have 3 bonded atoms and 1 lone pair, this tells us we have a trigonal pyramid molecular shape. And it also tells us that we have a tetrahedral electron geometry. We also have an sp3 hybridization. And the bond angles would be 109.5 degrees. Okay, so the junior tutor said, and we weren't able to include any resonance structures since it was not applicable for this molecule. So to write the Lewis structure, first find the possible skeletal structure. Okay, so they found nitrogen will act as the central atom. And then they drew out all the bonds and showed the 1 lone pair on the nitrogen. No resonance structure can be written for this molecule since the lone pairs can only be contained in the nitrogen atom. Yep. So this solution is correct.